Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to unpack the pod. I know it's been a minute. Sorry. I ended up going away on a little staycation with my man. It was beautiful. It was lovely. Thank you again, baby. I was a little under the weather for a little bit, and now I'm back. So we're going to just touch on the last 4 episodes. The first one being episode 876, Squint off the vert. I have no idea what that means. None. People in the comments did though. Like I don't know. Vert, is that vertical? Is that I don't know. I don't get it. But we don't talk about it. Alright, you guys, that episode starts off with Mona's back. Mona's back. You guys, and y'all know why I love her so much, which I just really realized when the Poor Minds girls were on there, and we'll get to it. But she's an Aquarian. Like, no wonder we vibe. I vibe with Mona. I was so happy to see her back. I was unhappy to see that thumbnail with her all tilted over looking a little crackish. I ain't like it. Don't be doing her like that. But I have to say, Mona, Bookie Boo, come on. You got to pull it together every time. You're only up there, what is it, once a week or whatever? Come on, girl. This is like millions of viewers. You have celebrities, you have athletes, you have everybody watching this pod. You have to go up there representing. I'm sorry. You have to have your hair done every time. You have to have, and I don't understand ladies who don't mind wearing wigs, and that's not a dig because a lot of my family members wear weave, wigs, crochet, all that stuff or whatever. I love the ladies who feel good enough to switch it up. I love that shit. My baby switches up her hair all the time. I love it. I just don't do it. I'm just a regular me and my hair, me and no makeup, no foundation. You know, I'm just a regular girl. But if you wear wigs and you don't mind wearing wigs, get a good one. I'm sorry. I don't understand why you should ever be caught slipping that bad if you don't mind wearing wigs. But then she was like, y'all like the bob, and they like the bob, so it wasn't the hair, it was just, I don't know, she just was looking a little out of it, and I ain't like it. So she gotta do better. You gotta do better in that department, Mona. Now I gotta give you a little bit of constructive criticism. You know I love you, but you can't come and represent like that. But anyway, moving along, we have Parks even asked her, is she on the Molly? And I thought that was out of line, offensive, out of place. He do and say a lot of that shit. Parks, oh. Anyway, he's a model, you guys. We talk about Parks being in a Levi's ad. So of course I go look it up, and yes, he was just standing there squinting, looking like the whitest of white boys. I don't know. Parks drive me crazy, and y'all already know that. So now that Mel's gone, I guess I'm gonna have to talk about Parks every time, and how he irritates me so much, his comments, and I feel like he just can't shut the fuck up. But it's him saying, oh, they told me to serve face, and I serve face, and dude, what are you saying? Why are you saying that? Men don't say that, serving face, and they wanted me to serve face. But also men don't say anywho's. That shit drives me crazy too. They do a lot of unmanly stuff up here. All that talk, all the giggling, all that, like, come on. I need y'all to man up a little bit. Man up. This is supposed to be a super manly pod, or so I thought. Nah, not with Joe acting like he go both ways. And then there's nothing wrong with that. So, but anyway, we talked about the Grammys for a long time, and Mona got really quiet for a long time. And then when they were talking about this list or whatever, I'm so sick of these fucking lists, and all they want to talk about is the list. And I do feel like, I keep saying I'm gonna go back down to the $10 Patreon or whatever, because it's just not worth it. The shit that they be talking about is just rinse, recycle, repeat. Like, it's just the same thing, and I'm just so tired of all of it. However, I make content on it, content that I don't get paid for, because we're still trying to get to 1,000. You guys like the video and subscribe. But yeah, so I feel like I have to be in the know. However, interviews and bullshit that I don't care about, I just don't care about. But anyway, We move, and yeah, so Mona was quiet for a long time, and then we get into pretty much like a homie court. So Ice starts talking about how Keno and his girl, so I guess that answers my question that yes, they're still together. They came up and cooked. I ain't gonna lie though, I would like some of Keno's food. Now, he is not a likable person at all, but you know what? I take that back. Nope, I don't take that back. I was gonna say I take that back when they had the Pod Wives where he was kind of groveling a little bit because he lost her. He seemed like, oh, I got it. I got everything that everybody was saying. And, but bullshit. Like, I just think he's full of shit. I don't know him from Adam, but I don't know. I don't buy it. But anyway, his food does look good, though. I'm not going to lie. I can't remember when I saw it, but it looks good, and I wouldn't mind trying it. But yeah, so Ice brings up the fact that Keno came and cooked this big meal for everybody, and Mark was sneaking food. And Mark took a big ass tray of food. And that was talked about for a very long time. I felt embarrassed for Mark because Joe is like, yeah, you're sneaking chicken to the back and you took some for your wife, and this was pretty much made for people that work here. And he kept saying, yeah, your wife can have some. I love your wife. I don't mind. But it was definitely the wife thing that threw him off. I swear to God it was, because it was another pod where he was saying Mark took some to his wife too. And in this pod, all he kept stressing was the people that work here. This was made for the people that work here. I won't lie, I do feel like the good doctor shouldn't have taken any to his wife that she doesn't work there. So why is she getting a plate? I'm sorry. This is not what this is. This isn't a family party or anything like that. She don't work here. She don't eat. So yeah, I do feel like it was rude for him to attempt to even take some for her. And then Mark, you don't want to be that person. Like, you don't want to be that person that they feel like you and your wife are just greedy as shit. Because I do remember, and I can recall, after his birthday party, all they talked about was how much shrimp and lobster or whatever it was that Mark and his wife was eating. And I'm just like, damn, is that the reputation that you guys want to have? That y'all just greedy as shit and be taking all the food? Like, that's not cute. That's not cute, Dr. Mark. You got to do better. I'm sorry. But in his defense, he did say he buys the Dunkin' Donuts and he buys the Chick-fil-A that they all be eating on. And then they all scream like, we told you to stop. However, I feel like if he stopped, they would starve to death because literally that's all we see them really eating. But grown people, if your employer is not providing meals for you all, then you should be bringing a lunch or door dashing your own lunch and everything. But they don't have a lunch break, so they be struggling all day. I don't know. They just need to fix some stuff up there. They need to have me up there. I'll get it running smoothly. But with my phony laugh, y'all, don't y'all love when people do that phony laugh? It sounds phony, and it's very like, why'd you even do it? All right, so the next one was a Patreon exclusive with Poor Minds. And y'all already know those my girls. Those my girls, Dre and Lex, my girls. So they can do no wrong. I thought it would have been more I thought it would have been funnier. However, it was funny. It was good conversation, and I loved it. I love the fact that, they got along really well with Mona, and Mona's been on their show. They've been on Mona's show, so they know her. And when they were talking about when they went on, what's that, Carlos or whatever, 96 Boys, 90. Yeah, I don't watch them, so I don't know the name of it. But y'all know who I'm talking about. When they first met on that show, I loved how they was like, yeah, girl, we thought we was vibing with you and we were getting along and everything. And then you did a live the next day and was like, yeah, those poor mind bitches. Yeah, I killed them. They were like, and I died laughing. Mona was like, oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. I do that? I'm sorry. That shit was hilarious. But it's all good. They get along. Like I said, they still had her on the show. It was fine. I also love the fact that they would not let the men really jump in. So it was basically just a girls cast. Like, and Joe kept saying, could y'all shut the fuck up? Eventually, after he could not jump in, he was like, it's like playing double dutch. I just can't get in there. And they still was like, yeah, you're good. We're fine. We just talking. We chopping it up. And at the end, Joe was like, yeah, thanks, Mark, Parks, Imani, for sitting here because, yeah, the ladies just would not let them talk. And I wasn't mad at it because they do enough talking. And what are they talking about? And Mona had to let them know that, well, Mark, in the second hour or the second half of the night, he's done. Mark is usually sleepy and out of it. He don't have much to say anyway. All right, then we have the next episode, which was a behind the scenes called The Door Was Open, episode 046. And this one had Sasha on there. And it was behind the scenes. So it was one of the times when Sasha was there. But you guys, people are really respectful of Sasha, and I was too, which is it's not normal for us that really watch the pod and everything because we just tell it like it is. However, for Sasha, everybody is just like, listen, nice girl. For real, beautiful gowns. However, we don't need her. And I thought that was very nice and respectful that everybody's just like, listen, she seems like a nice enough girl, which she does. There's nothing really wrong with her. You know what I mean? Like, she's not coming up there acting a fool. She's not coming up there like really doing anything wrong. She just serves no purpose. And sorry to say, again, nice enough girl, but why is she there? She just don't need to be here like ever. So nothing really happened on the behind the scenes to me, in my opinion. Nothing really happened, so we move. Then we have the next episode, which was What's For You Is For You. And that's with Return of the Flip. Return of the Flip. Y'all hated that song. And I still do. If I hear it ever, just Return of Mac and his face and his voice. And I ain't like it. But in this episode, we start off right away with Flip saying, listen, Joe called me in, him and Ian. Joe said, no, I called you in. Why are you always putting me with Ian? And he said, well, damn, Ian was here. Joe said, that's okay. That's because I called Ian too. I'm the one that called you in, and I called Ian in. But it wasn't Ian that called this meeting. So Flip, we find out that, they're telling him, pretty much, get your shit together. And I really think this is probably their last ditch ever for Flip. Like, listen, we are trying here. We really are. And you need to get it together. And he ends up acting a fool. Just tell me what's happening. What's going on? Just tell me. Can't stand people like that. Just be still and be quiet. We sitting here still trying to give you a chance and you still acting a fool. And I ride for Flip a lot because I feel like now they treat him really, they don't treat him right. However, Flip don't treat people right either. So there's that. So I have to stop riding for him as much. And if he goes, then he goes. His energy, I like his energy. However, it is a little overwhelming, which I've already said. Sometimes he does too much. He's too loud. But then again, everybody can do too much and be too loud at times up there. But anyway, back to this. We find out that Flip started to really irritate. He started to agitate Ian. And Ian was like, you don't love him. Ian got really, I guess, animated, which Flip said he starts laughing because he's not used to seeing Ian act so animated. And Ian is like, you don't love Joe because you're up here on your phone. And like, they're really trying to tell him what he's doing wrong so he can correct it. Like, I feel like they're trying as hard as they can to keep him, even though, they are phasing him. They're phasing him down. They're phasing him, which was so funny, you guys, because they had a conversation with Imani. Imani was like, yeah, I wasn't told to sit down. And Joe was like, you weren't? So I don't know what the conversation was with Imani where they were like, yeah, just go do this or whatever. But he didn't feel like he was being told to sit out, which he was. I'm just like, he's not even smart enough to know that they moved you around a little bit. Come on, you got to be smarter than that. Speaking of Imani, let me just get this in real quick before, because I'm not gonna say it later. So they were talking about what you want to do, and if you want all this money, or if you had all this money, what would you do? Imani said that he wants to know what he wants to do in the future, or the near future. He wants to buy a home, and he wants to buy a content house. And I was like, please let that not be the truth. He didn't say that for real. Like, this man that they call broke all the time. They talk about he has no car. They talk about he has no real home and all that. Like, they really clown him up there and paint this narrative of him just being a bum. And when he said he wanted to buy a house, I actually was super happy. I'm like, yes, come on, goals. Come on, real goals. And then he adds in for a content house. God damn it. You are like 400 years old and you want to get a content house? No, dude. How about you just get a house? How about you just get a home? How about that? But we move from that but that's the only thing I really have to say about Imani. So we can move on from that. What else? Flip. So yeah, Flip, flipped out, but he's still there. So good for him. And it wasn't too much going on in this episode. The next one would be the one with, what's it called? The Stunt Don't Stop with Zaire Franklin. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. I think this is the worst pod that I've ever seen because I do not like this guy. I don't like him at all. I think he's boring. I think he's loud. I think he's Mr. Me Too. I think everything is about him. The whole entire pod was about fucking sports and football, and who cares? I don't care. Like, I think he's boring. I think he's full of himself. I don't like the fact that he did that with Flip. When you come up here or whatever, and I understand what Flip was saying, you come up here, so why are you saying stuff like that? Like, and then Imani says, yeah, he gives me like J1 type of tease where they just say whatever. And you all already know that I think J1 is ignorant. I think the stuff that come out his mouth is ignorant. So I don't know how old this guy is, but I could do without him. I'm telling you, this was like the worst. I couldn't even. I'm fast forwarding. It just never got good. Never got good. I did see in the comments, though, that everybody was saying, well, Flip was really trying to get his shit off. And I did see that Flip was getting really loud and singing, like he does. And it was driving me a little crazy. But then the whole entire pod was just loud. They were all over talking each other. And like I said, that guy talks loud. So everybody else is talking loud, it was just loud. And it just sounded like shit. It just really did. Like, they need a little more structure. And I just still don't understand all these people being up here who we don't care about. And that's why I need my money. And that's why I need my money. I need to just drop down a tier for real. I'm not even going to play. But that's it, you guys. I just wanted to get on here and tell a few things and a few feelings. Mona should be back, I believe, for the Saturday. Because today, hopefully they are recording a Friday, and then she should be back on tomorrow's. I hope, because it is just trash without Mona. It's pure trash. Apparently there was something with Melyssa Melyssa did a thing with Charlemagne, or he did her show, and they was talking about, her being with the ops or whatever. Although Charlemagne did, to me, he put out the little white flag when he was defending Joe recently. But the clip that I saw, because of course I'm never watching that shit. Like, I'm never watching Mel's pod ever in life. I'm just not. She is someone who is definitely attempting as hard as she can to erase her whole facts and her past and everything. But girl, we know who you are. Go ahead and better yourself and try to be this super intelligent woman over there. Do it over there. But she's gone, so I don't need to talk about it. But yeah, the clip that I heard was just, I'm like, she was using it to get her shit off, basically, because she asked him a question. He answered it real quick, and then she had so much dialogue. Yeah, because such and such and so, and then I am used to working with guys who are, groupthink and all that. And I'm just like, she's just using this to get her shit off, which if you want to do that, do that. But why are you doing it under the guise of an interview when you're talking more than the person you're interviewing? Like, really, she just sounds stupid. And everybody was, oh, shots fired, shots fired. Let her go. Let her say whatever she want to say. Just let her go. I mean, she doesn't leave anywhere under good circumstances, and that's just who she is. I just don't think she is a good person. So I feel like they should just let it go. They've never addressed it, and I guess Joe put up a tweet like, there you have it. And there we have what? I still do think that that's rude that he just let all this happen without saying anything to his supporters and people who have been there, you know, watching her and wanting her to go and everything else. Say something. Again, you don't have to tell every detail about what happened behind the scenes, but you could say something. She's no longer, I mean, obviously, she's no longer here. We appreciate her or we don't, but she's no longer here and we move. And he should have addressed it in some kind of way. I think it was ignorant and rude that he didn't. So there's that. But that's it, you guys. So we will talk about the upcoming couple at some point next week. I am going to definitely get one out there next week. I'm going to be more consistent and get her done. If you are new to the channel, first of all, if you're still here, you're the real MVP. Thank you very much. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. Like the video, you guys. It does wonders for the algorithm. It like pushes my video out so that more people can find it. You guys, because I just found somebody who does reviews or whatever, and I watched it and I'm just like, oh, she must be new. But no, she wasn't new. She had 1 billion followers or whatever, and I had never seen her. She was doing it for years, and I'm just like, damn, there really are people who we don't see. You know, people don't, if people can't find you, they don't see you, and they can't subscribe. But it's a huge deal to me if you subscribe, so please do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches.